Okay, this is my first video. I don't know, it might be my last video. I'm just trying this shit out. Okay, let me start off telling y'all who I am. My name is Derek. Derek Witcher. Yes, it's a crazy name. Witcher. Like, when I was in school, I I didn't know nobody outside of my family named Witcher. Like, you be in school, you see kids with the same last name, like Smith and Johnson and Montgomery, stuff like that. No. The only Witchers I knew was in my house and in my family. I felt like, dang, like, how did we get that last name? And then when I got in school and got older, now I see Witchers everywhere. But at first, when I was like in high school, grammar school, I didn't know any Witchers besides the ones that I knew already. But anyway, I'm from Chicago. Yeah, you know, the place where everybody shoots each other and everything. That's a whole different subject. I used to be so proud to be from Chicago. Like, when I was younger, you should tell people, man, I'm from Chicago. First thing they say, oh, well, Michael Jordan, the Bulls, yeah. Like, that was like our selling point. Now, sometimes you kind of embarrassed to tell people you from Chicago. Because immediately they either think you a shooter or like you a kitty rapist or lying, like all type of craziness, you know what I'm saying? And it's because of celebrities and like the fact that people just not the same no more. Like, to me, it really felt like a different earth from back in the day. Like, you know, I'm one of those people that believe in all type of conspiracies and all that, even though I don't call it conspiracy. Because if I believe something and you believe something, it's our belief. Like, just because I can't prove it right now doesn't mean that it's a conspiracy theory. Because it's evidence for stuff that we know is true, but we just don't have the solid evidence. Like, most people believed OJ was guilty, but you know what I'm saying, he got off. But most of the evidence looked like he did it. Then he got out of jail and said, yeah, if I did do it, I'd do it like this. Crazy. But I'm getting off topic again. Anyway, I'm from Chicago. I was born with cerebral palsy. Now, if people don't know what that means, look it up. That's why Google's here. But it's a disability that affects people in different ways. It could affect your mobility. It could affect your speech. You know, it could affect a lot of things. Your brain pattern. Like, it's just a weird disease to me. Because I knew people that had cerebral palsy in school, and they didn't have none of the problems I had, but I didn't have none of the problems they had. So it's kind of weird like that. But I've been in a wheelchair my whole life. And one thing about me, though, I've never been like, oh, I'm disabled, I can't do this. I used to look at life like I could do anything. Like, for real. I had so much faith in myself that I feel like what I can't do besides walk. Like, and sometimes I felt like it's good that I couldn't walk because it was things that I was excluded from that end up being beneficial for me, you know? Like, when I used to be out the streets with my friends and they finna go do something, you know, illegal or anything like that, I wouldn't go because they like, man, we ain't getting caught fucking with you, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but that's how they felt, you know what I'm saying? And I felt them too because I didn't want to get caught. So I feel like being in a wheelchair and being disabled was a gift and a curse. Until I started getting affected by it. That's the difference. Like when I was younger, because I'm 35 now. When I was a teenager, like preteen, I was like, I was energetic. I could do shit. I could really do things. Like I was able to ride a bike. You know, I was able to like climb a gate, like in a wheelchair. Like my legs were just, they wouldn't be straight. They wasn't paralyzed. Like I could feel it. You know, I just couldn't straighten them and walk. You know, I had uh I had braces for a minute, but they was just too painful. I really couldn't work with that. And then I had a walker, and what happened with the walker is, I you know when I used to use it, I used to fall so much. And one day I had got real fresh. I was fresh. I was clean, and I said I'm gonna go outside with my walker, and I fell, and I mean I feel bogus, and like kind of like scuffed myself up. And the prettiest girl I ever seen, I didn't even know her. She picked me up like a baby. She picked me up like a baby and like brushed my clothes off, like brushed my hair off, like I was her son. And that did something to my ego. I was like, man, I can't go through that. That was so embarrassing. And I told my homeboy that day, like, man, I'm getting me a wheelchair and I'm staying in it. And I had a wheelchair, it was like lime green. Like, people used to be able to see me from far away. They knew, like, oh, that's him. You said lime green ass chair. Like, I couldn't hide the shit. But I was a cool dude. Like, I had a lot of friends. Like, everybody mostly knew me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was deprived. Even when I got a little bit older, I was able to get a job at the movie theater, at McDonald's. I eventually got my own apartment. I was pretty independent. I lived by myself. It was times where I felt like I'm not disabled. Like God made me have a disability so He could even out how dope I was. Like I believe that for real. Like I believe that if I was fully able, it would be fair because I feel like I could do anything. Then, like, I got sick one day. I was sick for like 2, 3 days. What happened was it was my birthday. And I had got really drunk. I got real drunk. My birthday is on January 11th. Triple one. So all you lottery heads play that. So I got drunk. I got super drunk. And I got sick and I thought it was a hangover. So then I go to the hospital. Well, I didn't even go to the hospital. I stayed in the bed for a couple days. Sick, throwing up and stuff like that. So once I started feeling bad, and it was days past, I started getting worried. Like, man, hangover don't last as long. Then one day I had called off work, and my grandma came to my house, and she like, "You still sick? You need to go to the emergency room." So I go to the emergency room, and they like I had an infection because I used to sit in my chair for a long period of time, and I had got some like D cubes on the back of my leg and on my butt. I guess they had got infected from all the pressure, and I had to get a cut and drained. It was a fucked up time. I mean, the shit was fucked up. Now, mind you, before that I had got like sick before that, but it was some shit that I got over, So I hadn't really been sick, never. Like I never been really out in and out the hospital or had to stay in no, facilities or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So this was all new. Like I had to like be helped and all. Like you go from being super independent to having to be helped. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was after you know all the surgery and shit, I started to get better. I started to come back. You know what I'm saying? I was doing better because I was having therapy. I was having people help me. I was taking medicine, so I started to heal up. And then one day, I had went to the hospital because I had got sick again. I had went to the hospital, and I'm in the emergency room, and then one of the one of the nurses, because I'm from the hundreds, and anybody know the hundreds, that's where Roseland at. So I went to Roseland Hospital. So when I'm in Roseland Hospital, I know them because my mother used to be in and out the hospital because she had asthma. So I know them. I know a lot of people that work at Roseland. So I'm in there talking to this nurse that I know. And, we conversating. And she telling me, like, you gonna be alright, we just gotta do a few tests. They doing blood tests and whatnot. She come back like, well, your white count is awful. So we gonna have to keep you overnight. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really worried, but I'm like, oh, I gotta stay in the hospital. So we talking, and then she like, well, look, get some sleep, and then when your room ready, I'm gonna call you, and they gonna come pick you up. So she walk out, cut the light off. I closed my eyes, and I literally opened them again, and it was like a month and a half later. Like, I literally, that's how it felt. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I closed my eyes and then opened them back up. And I was in a whole different hospital. My family is all there. Everybody, like, looking at me all crazy. I can't really see that good. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? My uncle trying to tell me what happened. Like, you've been in a coma. And I'm just looking at it like, oh my God, you tripping. I'm like, I was just in the hospital a minute ago. He like, no, man, it's a month and a half later. He like, it's March, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I went doing my birthday in January. He like, no, man, it's March. So he showed me his phone with the date and time. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So I started struggling and freaking out and shit, trying to move, but I can't really move because when you've been in a coma that long, your muscles and shit don't work. So I'm trying to do what I can, but I can't. He telling me to relax. Now listen, I thought fell asleep because I saw shit while I was asleep. While I thought I was asleep, I saw shit while I was asleep that I never told nobody about. And I just want people to know. I'm gonna end it right here, and I'm gonna come back to this. But I just wanted to introduce myself, let people know, who I am. All right, peace out.